What if your SendCopy campaigns could automatically tell your other tools when something important happens? A connection request gets accepted. A prospect replies to your message. Someone likes your LinkedIn post. Instead of constantly checking SendCopy to see what happened, you can have that information sent automatically to your CRM, Slack, Zapier, Make, N8N, or even your own system. And that's exactly what webhooks are designed to do. In this video, I'll show you how to connect SendCopy to another tool using webhooks, step by step, including every field you'll need to configure. Let's get started. Before we create one, let's quickly understand what a webhook actually does. A webhook is essentially a real-time message that SendCopy sends to a URL whenever a specific event happens. For example, let's say you've created a webhook for first message reply received. The moment a prospect replies, SendCopy sends that event and its data to the URL you've provided. So instead of another tool repeatedly asking, "Did anything happen?" SendCopy simply tells it, "Something happened. Here are the details." That's why webhooks are useful for real-time automation. If you're already using tools like Zapier, Make, Clay, Pabbly, N8N, Slack, or your own CRM, webhooks can connect what's happening inside your SendCopy campaigns with the rest of your workflow. Before creating your webhook in SendCopy, there's one important thing you'll need: a webhook URL. This is the destination where SendCopy will send the information. For example, you might get one from a Zapier or Make webhook trigger. You could also use an N8N webhook node, a Slack incoming webhook, your CRM, or a custom endpoint on your own server. So make sure you have that URL ready before you start. Once you do, let's create the webhook in SendCopy. First, open your SendCopy dashboard. Click your account name in the sidebar. Then go to Settings and select Integrations. This is where you'll find the different ways to connect SendCopy with external tools and services. Inside Integrations, look for the Webhook card. You'll see how many webhook connections are currently configured. If you're creating your first one, you'll see 0. Click the Webhook card to open the Webhooks panel. From here, we can create our first connection. Now click Create Webhook. You'll see several fields that control exactly when and where SendCopy sends your data. Let's go through them one by one. First is the webhook name. This is simply an internal name to help you recognize the webhook later. For example, Slack alerts, replies, or CRM sync, connections. I recommend using a name that tells you both where the webhook goes and what event it's tracking. Next is the webhook URL. This is the endpoint we talked about earlier. Paste the URL from your receiving tool into this field. For example, this could be a webhook URL generated by Zapier, Make, N8N, Slack, or your own application. Make sure you copy the URL correctly. Even a small mistake can prevent the webhook from reaching its destination. Next is probably the most important field: event type. This tells SendCopy when to trigger the webhook. SendCopy currently supports events such as connection request sent, connection request accepted, message sent, in-mail sent, first message reply received, first in-mail reply received, follow sent, liked post, viewed profile. For example, if your goal is to notify your sales team whenever a prospect replies, select first message, reply received. If you want to update your CRM whenever someone accepts a connection request, choose connection request accepted. One important thing to remember: each webhook listens for the event you select. So if you want to track multiple events, it's better to create separate webhooks for each event rather than trying to combine everything into one. Next is campaign. By default, the webhook can listen to all campaigns. That's useful if you want one webhook to handle an event across your entire SendCopy account. But you can also narrow it down to a specific campaign. For example, if you only want Slack notifications for one active outreach sequence, select that specific campaign here. This gives you much more control over where your automation fires. Finally, there's an advanced option for custom headers. These are optional. You can use custom headers when your receiving endpoint requires something like an authentication token, or a custom identifier. SendCopy supports up to 5 custom headers. If your receiving tool doesn't require them, you can simply leave this section empty. Once everything is configured, click Create Webhook. SendCopy will save the connection, and you'll see the webhook connection count update on the integrations page. For example, if this was your first webhook, it will now change from 0 to 1. That means your webhook is configured and ready to receive the selected event. If your webhook doesn't seem to be firing, there are 3 things I'd check first. Number 1. The URL. Make sure the webhook URL is correct and reachable, and that you haven't accidentally added spaces or copied it incorrectly. Number 2. The event type. Make sure you're testing the exact event you've configured. For example, a message sent webhook won't trigger when someone replies to your message. And number 3. The campaign filter. If you've selected a specific campaign, make sure the activity you're testing is actually coming from that campaign. These 3 checks will solve many common webhook issues. And that's it. Once your webhook is live, SendCopy can automatically send important outreach events to the tools your team already uses. That means fewer dashboard checks, less manual data entry, and more automation across your entire outreach workflow. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more SendCopy tutorials and automation guides. And if you have a specific webhook workflow you'd like to see us build, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.